digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hiya, guys, and welcome to THFC Till We Die, home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future on the Thomas Frank. As this is the week that Tottenham are back proper. The first competitive game on Wednesday, and then the Premier League is back on Saturday, where Spurs are at home to Burnley, and it's 9 months of hell. 9 months of ups, downs, and tears, and tantrums, and throwing cups at walls, and not bothering saying you're done with Tottenham, and then 5 days later you're falling back in love with them again because they've won a game. But joining me tonight and for the season ahead, the man of reason, the man of his convictions. He is the Simon Jordan of THFC Till We Die. He is the one and only Tequila Simon Jordan. How are you, Tequila, tonight?
I'm okay. It's always good to be next to Jim White, a Newcastle fan who tries his best not to be biased. Dermot, do you remember seeing him when Michael Owen? Does anyone remember this? We're going back a number of years now. When Michael Owen signed for Newcastle, and Jim White was there.
Yeah.
And the love, I thought they were going to start making out. I thought he was going to go and give Michael Owen a massive, big French kiss.
I did.
I'll never forget it. I was flabbergasted. This was on Sky News. It was on Sky Sports News. I was flabbergasted at what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's not me for a minute. I forgot to get dressed, so give me 2 minutes. Tequila, do you want to go through the chat there, and while I get dressed, put my uniform on? Sorry.
Okay, while Dermo gets dressed, I'll welcome him. Dermo has given out some free memberships.
Yeah.
So who are the lucky people? Let's have a look.
The lucky people are, I will tell you. I remember. Oh, I can't bring that up. Sorry, Starman. Sorry, can't bring that up. Sorry. Right, we have SDFC Beanie. Boris has got one. Dan the Carter Man. Haven't seen him for a long time. Razzle Dazzle. He's become a member. And so is Liston Haynes. See, I did this expecting you to get one, Tequila. So I'm going to have a word with YouTube. And then we've gifted out another 5. Nita ENS, who's in the chat, ghosted, which I feel like I am half the time. He's in a watch along. So that's where he is. Ghosted. He's I forget the name of the ghost now. Anyway, come to me. Kai Blank and Jeremy R6 all received membership. So big up to you guys, and welcome to the THFC family. Look, I'm dressed now. Got my Spurs. I've got my Spurs top on. I feel more dressed now as I sit in my new studio.
Very dapper. Yeah, very dapper.
Yeah. Not bad. Didn't have to pay Levy a penny for this, which is very good.
You bought it on the black market, did you?
I did. I bought it on the black market. Yeah. Just a bit of an announcement, guys, before we do get and welcome the members into the chats. We have a guest coming on Friday, potentially, Tequila. Hopefully you can be free for it.
I'll try.
Change for Tottenham are coming on. They have been in contact with me on X and looking to come on Friday, the day before the first home game and the day before the first protest of the season.
Well, that makes sense. That they've announced this quite short notice. I did hear another YouTuber talking about it, and I think they made some good points. So if we do discuss it, there is some. It's interesting. There's different ways you can look at it, Dermo. Both on the not I wouldn't say positive and negative, but there's maybe an issue with the timing. Maybe the first game of the season, in the manager's first competitive game, is that the best time to do it? Or is it that we feel because we're so desperate, this is our last chance to force Levy's hand to buy some players? It feels a little bit like that. I
think it is. I think it's the force Levy's hands, to be fair.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. But we will get into that, Tequila. That was a talking point I wanted to get into. Big up to Greg Selner. I'm not sure how much of the stream I'll see, but I leave is here. He's on about Savo being much better left than the right wing, means Kudus can now play right wing or century. Good signing for him. We're going to get into that in a minute. Big up to Giant68. Big up Dermo and Tequila and panel in the chat.
Hey, mate.
It also says, I think if you get Savinho, use him left wing, Kudus right wing, get a number 10 in, and vastly improves the window. I think so too. Big up to Adam McFarlane. Big up to you, Adam. Big up to you. Big up to Giant68 as well. B says, big up to Keela. Big up to Ines. This man has been in our chat for a long time.
Where you been, bro?
Where you been? You know, the man, Simon Jordan's asked you, where you been, bruv? Do you know? Yeah, Simon Jordan has. We have to get you on in a debate between you and our Simon Jordan. That would be good. Apparently he, if it's the same ENS, I think it is, said on Sean's channel Spurs Talk Show, which I did watch, very good on therein, was impressed, about Savinho being done deal. I don't know if you want to send a message to our resident source.
No, he hasn't spoke to me so far. I can try
right. We might leave him then if he's busy. I'm sure he'll get in contact with us anyway. Big up to Starman. Go ahead, sign him up now. Hi, Domo. Big up, Starman, my David Bowie fan. Big up to Kai Bite. Big up to Herbachon. Thanks for the membership. No problem whatsoever. Big up to Jamie R868. Appreciate the membership. Not a problem. Big up to SDFC Benny. Shout out to you, James. I think it was a poor timing. I do love how you talk to him.
It's got to be done.
Yeah. Apparently, Ian says he's been lurking. Well, fair enough. We all lurk from time to time. Different Ian. Oh, different Ian. Oh, okay. Big up to you, ENS. Then big up to you. Big up to you. There's so many Ians about, part of the Ian army. And big up to Wine Dine instead. Evening chat. Are we a 3 good signings? Look, this is a good point. Are we 3 good signings away from being a good squad, Takeda? Is the squad at the if you add 3 really good players to it, does that improve the squad then to where we are now?
I still think there's levels. It all depends what people's ambitions and expectations are. If we get 3 good players, we can battle for a European place. If you're talking about cracking the top 4, I mean, we're a long way off. I think.
Yeah,
I think we're a long way. Even 3 good players. I mean, Wayne uses the term good. I think we're 3 great players away from 3 or 4 great players from challenging the top 4, but 3 good players, 6th, 7th. Maybe.
Well, that gets you to Europe, doesn't it?
That's what I mean.
7th place does.
Yeah.
I am putting together our channel predictions. Tequila, I need yours. I just put James's. I just need his European champions, Europa and Conference League. I need yours, Tequila, and that is the set. So we will get that up, guys, in the video before the start of the season. We'll do. Kai's asking why we're buying City rejects. I don't think Savinho is a bad buy, in my opinion.
I understand looking at it from Kai's point of view, but you could arguably say that Cole Palmer was a City reject.
Yeah, and look at where he's done.
I think we'd all more than welcome him in our first team, wouldn't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I understand the idea, because I know him as Savio, right? When his name was first bandied about, I was like, who? I know him as Savio. And he's a good young player. He's gotten into the first team. He's a good player. He will make us better, but it's like it's better than what we've got. And if that's enough for people, then that's fine.
Then is he an upgrade then on Odegaard?
At this minute in time with his development, yeah, he's ahead of Odegaard. Yeah.
Big up here. I'm getting me Ian's mixed up. He says I was watching Sean as well. That ENS streams as well, doesn't he? He does. I'm not in the know, unfortunately. Big up, Ian. I hope you're doing well. So apologize, I got you mixed up with the other Ians. Too many ENSs around. I get confused.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, Tequila, with news that this from Fabrizio, and he does I do like waking up in the morning, and Fabrizio either making my morning or really ruining it, and he ruined it this morning. That Jack Grealish to Everton is a here we go. Loan deal agreed with Man City. Medical book later today. Grealish said yes to Everton, but he would have preferred to go to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But we never went in for him.
I don't get it. This is the part I don't get, right, guys. I know that not everyone likes Grealish. I get it, right? He divides opinion a little bit. But think about it, right? We were willing and did have Werner for 2 seasons on 180k, right? Which is more or less probably what they want. You're telling me that we were willing to do that for Werner, who, let's be honest, nobody really wanted, right? And Grealish, at least we know he can cover a couple of positions, right? He's better than bloody Timo Werner, and he can cover the 10 and the left wing. You're not telling me we couldn't have fit him into the squad?
I know. I know. I think you bring Grealish down, and I know everyone's saying about his baggage and his problems he has off the stream, but do you feel that was Man City's doing? That was Pep's own doing that's made Jack Grealish the person he is at the moment? Do you think he's that unhappy at Man City that he's drove him to what he's doing, this party boy image? Because you never really got it at Villa, did he? You never got that opinion of him. You got a player that liked to go out, but he loved his football. He goes to Man City, the pressure of being the first £100 million player, and then last season Pep didn't use him at all. Do you think Pep's ruined Jack Grealish as a player?
I don't think he's ruined him. No, I think that sometimes players don't fit at certain clubs. We say that, we act like he's been an absolute train wreck. He hasn't. Maybe he's not been the player they wanted. Maybe he's not been the player that people thought he was going to be after he left Villa. Does that automatically make him trash? And it's a little bit of an egotistical thing from us Spurs fans, right? Including myself, because I've been guilty of it as well. Who do we think we are that we're going to get the world-class players in? We're not. We're Tottenham, right? We haven't won a league title in 60 plus years, right? So we are not at that level, the top level, right? We're not. We're the rung underneath. So what? Jack Grealish isn't good enough for Spurs. That's what it feels like. I hear a lot of, And I just wonder sometimes, it's like, are we that delusional as a fan base, not really individual so much? I mean, as a fan base, what is it we are really expecting? And Dermo, he's. Are you going to tell me that Jack Grealish is a worse player than the majority? I'll take Kudos out of it because I think Kudos might be the exception. I'm sorry, Dermo. I know you like Johnson. He's better than all of our options on the wing. All of them.
I agree. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. I think he does improve. You put him on the left, you put Kudos on the right, and you get a good number 10 in the middle. Then I think.
Why couldn't we have gotten Grealish to play as the 10, right? And Savinho on the left. If we brought in Savinho and Grealish, right, and they announced those two, I think we're in that. We go up in my estimation from 9th to maybe 6th or 7th. That's two places we've gone up. And that would be what, 50 million if Savio is going to be 50 million. But it's the wages. The Grealish is going to be 200k. If he doesn't want to pay it, why was he willing to pay it for the part? This is the part I don't get. Why was he willing to pay it for Werner?
Exactly.
And
I don't get that.
Isn't he replacing Son's wages, who was more or less on that as well? So aren't we we've got Son's wages off the wage bill, give it to Grealish for a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was put in our group chat today, wasn't it, by James, one of our esteemed colleagues here on the channel, and he said something about I don't really fully understand it. I need him to sit down and explain it to me. Most of it, I don't know if it's someone's been put off to last year's FFP and someone's been put onto this year's FFP. That's the thing that confuses me. But we did say up to 300k a week in wages. Which freed up from Højbjerg, I think, and Gil, Son, and Højbjerg. So that's 300,000 a week we've saved up on wages already. So you can't tell me we can't pay Grealish 200 grand a week, right? And we can't pay whatever Savinho's on. He's on 40 or 50 grand, so give him 80 grand a week. You're still saving. You still got 20 grand left over.
You know what Levy's done again, right? If there's no replacement for Son. Right, and the rumor is there's not going to be, like, the replacement for Son's already here, right? If that's true, then Levy is taking Werner 180. I'm not sure. Son at least 150, something like that, maybe 200. He was one of the top ones, wasn't he, Sonny? Right? I bet you Levy slashed 400,000 or 500,000 off the wage bill. And where's that gone? Kudos, who's what, on 100k? Okay, so let's say that. So 400k then. So he slashed again. He slashed the wage bill by 400,000. Yeah. And he wants to win the Premier League and he wants to win the Champions League, does he?
I know. It's. So I've got to put that on. I've got to put that on. You used to own Crystal Palace, Sorry, I had to put that on. Sorry, Tequila. No, I agree. I agree. Look, I look. A lot of people think just because I'm balanced, I'm not angry with Levy, and I'm also angry with Lange as well at the moment for the transfer window we're having. Now, that doesn't mean that in the next 48 hours, say before the Burnley game on Saturday, that we don't sign 2 or 3 players. And the window then gets turned its head. That happened before on the Paratici, didn't it? One window where we said the window was crap, and then within 24 hours, we had Bentancur and Kulu came in. So where I think you're right to criticize the window, I think you're right to criticize the man. I just feel that Lange should be getting some of the blame as well. That John Lange, he's responsible for getting these players in. So whatever gripes anyone has with Levy, I think you should have the same gripes with the director of football as well.
I do, but right. So, my issue is that I agree with you. But my issue is that we've gone through so many bloody director of footballs, and it seems like, with the rare exception of maybe 1 or 2 out of the 10 or 12 we've probably had since Levy took charge, most of them do a bad job. Isn't that a bit strange that many do a bad job? So what's the common denominator, Dermo? Just your logic. Daniel Levy is he's the one who's always been there. Everyone else, managers, players, director of football, scouts, have all gone through. He is the one remaining factor. So this is why, for me, it is on him, because he's the part that's always there and will never change because he owns it. Why would he change it? He's the boss. He doesn't need to change it. But he's the constant factor. So that's why, because he's the constant factor.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you, but I just think that where I do agree with that, I just feel these director of footballs apart from Paratici and Mitchell, I think some of the others do get away with it. Steve Hitchen gets away with it, but he never got blamed. And everyone's blaming Levy. Well, Steve Hitchen brought in a heap of shite. He's the one that said to Levy, let's go for Don Bele. Let's spend 62 million on him. He was the fella who was supposed to do the recon on him to find all the pitfalls if he's a good fit or not a good fit. He didn't do his job properly. I
never thought Hitchens was particularly good either, dude.
No.
But we've gone through. My point was that we've gone through many of them. They can't all be bad, Dermo. Surely.
No, well, Paul Mitchell, I don't think was bad. I think Paul Mitchell was.
He's the best of the bunch, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he walked out. I think out of principle or something.
That's probably because he knew the fight he was in for. He was doing well, and he was like, "Hold on a second, you're putting all these roadblocks up in front of me."
Yeah,
but there we are.
That's true. This is news we just got in from one of our sources that we use. One of the guys that are part of the channel transfer rumor group. Nothing is official until we can confirm it. So we're going to treat this as unconfirmed before we can confirm it, if you know, guys. But apparently, Tequila, we've been given news tonight that Man City have rejected Spurs' opening Savinho bid of 45 million. For Savinho, Man City are demanding closer to 60 million. Look, do you think Levy goes to? Do you think 55 million gets the job done?
Probably, but I think we're overpaying again.
Yeah.
I think we are, but I mean, he's a very good player. I think maybe, look, it's not my money, right? It's not my money. I'm assuming we've got such limited funds, though, so I want to save every penny, right? It's not my money.
Yeah,
I think that's probably over the odds for where he is in his stage of career. I think you're looking at about 30 or so. That being said, we paid 42 for Archie Gray, Dermo. So there we are.
There you go. This is from true though. This is going through a bit of the news, guys. This is from Thomas. This is from football.london, and then Thomas Frank has 7 Tottenham transfers for Johan Lange to complete in the summer master plan. A new number 10, a new centre back, a Sonny replacement, Scarlett on loan, Luca on loan, Solomon decision. Now we know Hill's gone out as well for 11 million to Bologna, so I think that's done. Look, we've talked about the number 10, the centre back. I think we're after a few Italian ones, Paratici sort of graveyard. Sonny's replacement, well, we could think that could be Savio, couldn't we? Savinho from Man City. Yeah. Scarlett and Luca on loan, and Solomon. Where are you and them 3? Let's start with Solomon. Do you think he's worth keeping around, or do you think we need to get rid of him to go to Leeds? What's you taking him? He wasn't at a club very long before he got injured, was he?
No. I think that was one of those club opportune signings because we got him for free because of the war, right? That's why, because he was able to leave his club. So we took an opportunity, and if we can sell him and make money, I mean, that's Daniel Levy all over. That's pure profit, bro. I don't think he's good enough from what I've seen. He did okay at Leeds, but that's a championship, so he probably deserves a chance, to be honest. I don't think he's going to be good enough, but I can't sit here and say I'm 100% on that. He hasn't really been given a chance, but it looks like they obviously don't. If he's on the loan list again, then is it going to be a loan term, or do they want to sell him?
I think it's a permanent. I think Leeds want to buy him permanently. Yeah. So there's a couple. Yeah. There's probably 10, 15 million for you, at least that.
Well, if that helps pay for, if we need the funds that badly, then by all means. If him and Gil will get us 25 million to combined, then that pays for half of Savio, doesn't it? If you want to look at it,
it does. Way. Yeah, it does. Luca. Now with Luca, he hasn't been named. I am going to go through. The squad has been announced today for the Super Cup final. He wasn't in there, so it looks like Luca is going out on loan. So is Dean Scarlett. I want to start with Dean Scarlett. Look, for me personally, I think we need to cut ties with this lad. I think he's had his chance at Tottenham. I think that if he was going to make it, he would have made it by now. Now, the question I'm got wrongly around in my head: have we let Scarlett down here as a young prospect for our club? as a club? Because I think we have.
I don't think he particularly fits how we play, and that's not really the kid's fault. I think it's just a combination of the managers we've had as well.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't pull up trees in Portsmouth.
No.
This is the thing. I mean, a lot of people will say, well, Harry Kane didn't pull up trees when he went, and that's fair enough. But Harry Kane is the exception. Just because
Harry
Kane
is a generational, once in a generation striker, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. And the truth is, and people know this as well, most young players don't make it.
No,
they don't. And that's not to say that Scarlett's got no talent. I'm sure he does, but it doesn't make him either his talents for the Premiership. It reminds me a little bit, Dermo, of the Irish fella who went to Feyenoord. And was it Feyenoord he went to? Or FC20?
FC20, yeah, Troy Parrott. Yeah.
Right. So I could see him maybe taking a similar career path, maybe abroad, maybe in a championship. Let me put it this way, Dermo. Who would you rather have in your books right now, Scarlett or Parrott? I think we both
Parrott. And I'm probably being a little bit.
And so would I.
I'm probably being. Look, me saying that, I'm probably being a bit biased because of the Irish connection.
Yeah,
but I think Troy Parrott is a better striker than Dean Scarlett, and that's not disrespect on Dean Scarlett. I think the lad's got talent, but have we? If you look at other clubs, would he do well at Leeds? Will he do well at Burnley? Would he do well at QPR or clubs like that? I think he will. But is he that top-end striker that's going to get you 15, 20 goals a season? I don't think he's going to be.
I don't think he's ever showed evidence of being anywhere near that level, to be honest, either for us or when he's gone on loan. He's never showed that kind of potential.
He hasn't.
And how old is he? Is he 21 now?
21 now, I think. Just let me just check. I think he is 21. And then on Luca, Luca's another one. I keep him, but what's your verdict on Luca?
I'm always skeptical of the foreign players who come in this young, Dermo, just because I remember what I was like at his age, right? And that was me living in England. So I'm always a little bit. I always feel like you need to give the foreign lads who come in an extra year. So I have no expectations for Luca this year. That doesn't mean that I think he's rubbish. Far from it. I mean, I don't expect him to, if he doesn't play a game this year, I actually won't be unhappy because I think this year is about him learning England, if nothing else, right? To acclimatize. The same thing with the South Korean chap Yang. I had no expectations. Even now, I'm kind of completely like, I don't care what he does really. I'm not going to judge him in the slightest until probably next year, before I even begin to analyze him. So I wouldn't loan him. I think for the same reason, I think he needs to learn the club. He needs to learn the country. He probably needs to be mentored. You've got guys like Romero, who's probably a decent role model for him. Van der Ven, maybe less so because Van der Ven's much younger. I think he might get some game time, even if they class him as the fifth choice centre half, which is probably where you might put him behind Ben Davies, I guess. You could play him in the early rounds of some of the cup games, the Carling Cup. And even some of the early rounds of FA Cup if we get some easy draws. He ain't going to play in the Champions League or probably the Premiership. No. I'd keep him this year. I would anyway.
Yeah, I would. I think he's a better keep than send them out on loan. Look, we'll move on. This is now. Look, I did a bit of digging today, right? And you got me. This is down to you, Tequila. You got me thinking on this. Nothing. Well, you got me thinking on Paratici and Lange, right? And transfer windows. And I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to have a little dig around, and I'm going to top up a Paratici window to a Lange window. Now, we know who Paratici brought in under him and the players that Paratici, but I wanted not to go by the players. I wanted to go by the numbers, how much they spent under Levy in each windows. Now, as we know, Fabio Paratici, the Don, joined Tottenham Hotspur as managing director of football in the summer of 2021, and he held the role until April 2023 when he had to resign due to a 30-month worldwide footballing ban stemming from financial dodgy stuff at Juventus. as you quickly as I just couldn't pronounce the word, just dodgy stuff. See, it works every time. Nobody knows. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. You go for it.
You're laughing at me saying dodgy stuff.
It's like you weren't sure how to phrase it, and you didn't want to say what it actually really is because you don't want to get us in trouble. Bless you.
Yeah, because I couldn't pronounce it. Anyway, however, he has continued to influence Tottenham's transfer as an unofficial advisor within the band, ending July 2020, after which he returned as technical director below. So he has returned to Tottenham, a news that we broke a long time ago. Below, and his detailed breakdown of Tottenham transfer spending under Paratici influence from the summer 2021 to 2025 based on available data. Well, I've gone from 2021 to 2023. So this is his first window, 101.7 million. Then in the January, that's when he bought in Kulu and Bentancur, 42.6 million. And his last summer window, 103 summer window, 103.5 million. He then spent 45 million in the 2023 window, and then in the summer 2023, where he was working sort of more hands-on than he is now. Tottenham spent 151.55 million.
Is that including sales, though, or is it just how much to spend? Is that including...
No, just how much he spent.
Okay.
Now, I did have the one. Don't tell me I downloaded the wrong. Because I had them all totted up and everything. I think it was around. Let me see now. Oh God, no. Okay, so guys, if you want to top that up yourself, I did have it there, but this is now Johan Lange, who joined us in November 2023, and he's in tenure. He's covered the summer 2024 window, the winter window in 2025, and this summer window in 2025. So in his first window, Tequila, he spent 21.3 million. In the summer window of last year, he spent 140.8 million. And then in this window so far, he spent 60 million. And that's including Palhinha's option as well. So where are you between Paratici and Lange? Who's the better? For me, I think Paratici bought better players. No question about that. I think if you look at Lange's summer window to Paratici summer window, I think Paratici wins hands down. But do you think Paratici works better under a Levy remit than Lange does? Or do you think, this is the other point, do you think also Levy's a bit scared of Paratici, but he knows he can sort of bully Lange into what he wants?
I think there might be an element of that. I think Paratici, of course, I don't know them either man personally. You can only go on how they come across, and also you can how they're viewed and respected within the game. And I think it's fair to say, even though of course Paratici's reputation might have taken a little bit of a hit with the trouble he got himself into, I'd imagine, and he's much more respected in the footballing world. He's also older as well, which I think also has to play a role into it, right? He's been around longer than Lange is. And that will have an impact in transfers. It's all about the scouting network. It's all about networking in general, right? And we know that Paratici is very good in the Italian leagues. I think his success record outside of Italy, of the Italian leagues, is a little bit more hit and miss.
He did buy Hill, and that says everything.
Yeah. I mean, but his scouting of certainly the leagues that he knows, I think it's been more hits than misses, and I think that's the most you can ask. Nobody bats 100%, Dermo. The best director of football, whoever you think that is, maybe with Fergie. Forget the dude's name. Who was with Fergie? Fergie and somebody, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe somebody in the chat will know. I do know. I can see him.
Maybe someone like
Edwards?
That. Yes, I think that's it. So nobody bats 100, right? But I think I don't know. I'm trying to think if someone Lange has brought in who either looking at it from a young player perspective, a gem of a player, right? Who nobody else knew about. I can't think of many. Maybe Bergvall, maybe it's the only one that's coming to mind. And and overall, when it comes to players that go into the first team, who has he bought that people didn't already know about? Who has he unearthed? Johnson? Really? I know you like Johnson, but we paid 50 million or whatever it was Johnson. That's not
we
That's
we got conned. We got conned over that.
yeah.
Over Johnson, to be fair. We were both underwhelmed by Solanke, weren't we?
Yep.
Do you think Palhinha was more of a Levy deal? He was the one that got that over the line, apparently.
I think it's to do with Bayern, isn't it? We seem to be
Yeah.
trading an awful lot with Bayern and having these friendlies every year. So there's obviously a decent working relationship.
Yeah, there
So
is.
it wouldn't surprise me if Bayern more or less is saying, hey, if there's ever a player that we don't want, you can get first dibs, like
Yeah.
Mattel, like with Paulinia. So it's not that bad a deal really, because Bayern Munich are a very good team. So even their cast-offs aren't that bad, But
Yeah. Look, I get it. I just think you look at the players Paratici brought in, you look at Romero and Vicario and Porro and the gel, the rock that is the Tottenham squad at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you feel that if Paratici was in full control of this window, do you feel we would have had a better window than we are currently having under Lange? Because I think we would do.
Yeah.
I think the quality of players would be better. I think the quality of he would have gone to Thomas Frank. What do you want me to do? And Frank would have said, I need blah 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 blah. And him and Gambardini would have went out and said, right, let's get him these players. You
got to remember with Paratici, right? I know we got into trouble. Let's leave that stuff at the side for now, right? And just look at.
Do you know what? Just very quickly, Tequila, I think he was made a scapegoat for that.
Very, very well could have been, and maybe he was asked to fall on his sword, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Right. So, but this is the guy who worked in Juventus, right? One of the biggest, the second, arguably the biggest, but certainly in the top 2 or 3 of the biggest teams in Italy, right? And he was there for quite a while, and he got a decent amount of success there, right? He doesn't last that long in that job if he's bad. So I think it was quite a coup to get him at the time, and I think a lot of us were quite happy. I remember it at the time. We were all like, This guy helped build Juventus. This guy has been, So what could he do for Spurs? And now, unfortunately, we had to jettison him. And we've got. But what is Lange's legacy? He was at Villa, right? Where was he before Villa? Do you know?
I think he was in the Danish league. I actually did look up today. Actually, I had his thing up. I was actually looking at him. Actually, I've got his Wikipedia, which I know people can change stuff on there, so don't worry. Right, Lange reunited with Sola Barkin, and he rejoined Copenhagen as development director, the role changing to technical director. He then joined Villa on 2020, and then he joined us on October 2023. So really, he's gone from Danish football straight to the Premier League, where if you look at Paratici, he's managed a few places, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious which are just a direct comparison between those two. I think it's pretty obvious who the better one is. I wouldn't lose any sleep if they announced that Lange was leaving. I don't think he's done much of anything, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, you look at the teams like you look at the place he's been at Juve. He's been at where has he been? He's been at Tottenham. He's been at Juve. Where else he was? He was at Torino as well. Yep. So he's been at most of the. Torino's not the biggest club in Italy, but Juventus is well known worldwide.
Torino's not a small club. They're not like they're a Serie A club. They're a decent sized club. They're not top, but
also he was a player himself. He played quite a lot in Italy, Paratici, as a defender and midfielder. And he only stopped playing in 2004.
It just seems to me that he's better at building a team than Lange seems to be. He seems to have a better knowledge of the leagues as well, especially, as I said, the Italian leagues. I don't care, Dermo, if we only buy Italian league players. I could care less. If it makes the squad better, then that's all I care about.
So he worked at Sampdoria, which we know from David Platt went there back in the 90s, didn't he? Yeah. Sampdoria, he's worked at Juventus, he's worked at Spurs. I just feel this. whatever he got banned for, I think he was the scapegoat of it all. That's just my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong on that, but who knows?
Well, never know unless he ever decides to write a book, Dermo.
That's it. We do have a poll in the chat, and the question is, Savinho, is he an upgrade on the wingers we have? 93% say yes, Tequila. Only 7% say no.
I would like one of the 7%, and this is not me throwing shade. I'm generally curious.
Why?
Why?
Well, you're not the only one. Oh, God, 10 says the same thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it... I mean, he's allowed his opinion. I'm trying to be more politically correct, Dermo. I'm curious to see the 7%. Like, just which one is he not better than none? Leaving Kudos out of it, right? Because maybe you could argue that I think Kudos is better than Savio at this point in time. I do. So I'm taking him out of the equation. But just look at it from the left-sided point of view, then at least, right? Because I don't know if you know Savio's stats. I had a little bit of a look earlier. I'm not that big a stat guy, but I had a little look. He doesn't score that many goals, but he makes a lot of assists. So if Solanke is, unfortunately for us, if Solanke and Richarlison, and that is what we're going to be left with, which I think that is what we are going to be left with this season,
I think
they need all the help they can get regarding people putting in good balls to them, right? Because I don't think they're going to create their own chances. So they will need somebody like Savio to put some crosses in or some cutbacks for them, because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to score their own. So,
well, this is the latest we got on that deal, Tequila. This has come from via Talk Sport. I'm Ben Jacobs. He says it's a complicated, but Spurs will really make a push in the next few weeks. At Ben Jacobs via Talk Sport on the Savinho to Spurs deal. Already it sounds like it's just one of these, isn't it? It's just one of these deals that I don't know. You just get the feeling it ain't gonna. I'd love it to come true, but I think we've been hurt so many times. We don't believe it, do we?
I feel differently about this one. I think this is quite likely to happen. Actually, this one.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it. This isn't like a Morgan Gibbs White situation or anything like that, right? This is a player probably who is most likely been told he's going to be on the fringes, because this is Man City, guys, right? This is Man City, right? He's not going to be as good as some of the other Man City options, but that's Man City. That's a different league almost, right? That's we're not. This is what I mean. We're nowhere near it. So I could see from that kid's point of view, at 21 years old, it's a great move for a 21-year-old. And yeah, he's on the young side again. And I have been very critical. I am critical of buying all these young players, but, and Dermo knows, every player is different. So where they are in their career, and I think Savio is more advanced than some of the other 20 or 20-year-olds who we've brought in. Career-wise, I think he's more advanced, probably because he spent a long time at City. He's played in City's first team. So this isn't a 21-year-old from another league who most of us don't really know, right? This is a 21-year-old. I think he played like 30 games last year for Man City, right? So he's not like a young player, even though age-wise he is. So I think he's much more advanced than your Dane Scarlets. He's much more advanced than I think he's even more advanced than Tell, right? So Tell's slightly younger, but I think he's a much better prospect than Tell is. He's much more advanced to where he's in his development than Tell is. So I think this one happened because I don't think there's that, unless he asks for some crazy wages, which again I don't think he probably will. I don't think he will. I think at that age, I think it's a really good move for him. I think this one happened. I think this one happens because I don't think there's that many roadblocks. I don't think there is.
No,
I don't think there's that many roadblocks.
He wants to leave anyway. And you look at Jack Grealish. Savinho did play 26, 27 games for Man City last season.
Yeah.
And he is a good player. Do you know, he's a Brazilian international. And maybe would that bring the best out of Richie? Do you know?
I don't believe Richie's Brazilian. I think he's faked his papers. You know that.
I think he's, yeah. Did you read in the news just very quickly over the weekend about the Palestinian Pele passed away? And everyone's asking UEFA what happened.
No, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, I'll send you the article. Mo Salah actually put a tweet up on X about it.
Okay. No, I didn't know.
Big up to Andy Ings 135. He's asking, just very quickly, I was asking about Frank and Lange team haven't bought in Scandinavia. Are you surprised we haven't bought more in Scandinavia than we have?
Considering obviously where they both come from, you would have thought that that we've spoken about Paratici knowing the Italian market because he spent most of his career there as a player and as a manager. So you would have thought that these two would have much more of an idea. But I don't know, dude. Maybe it's a bit too. You got to remember, Frank's only. I know that football moves at a fast pace, but Frank's only still got toothpaste in his mouth. He's during his Spurs career. You know,
that's fair. I'm not surprised because look, we got Højbjerg, and I still think we should never have sold Højbjerg. To be fair, I think Højbjerg.
Not considering what we were left with. No, I think that we both thought. Oh well, I'll speak for myself. That Højbjerg can be upgraded, and he can be. But we didn't upgrade. That was the problem, Damo.
Do you feel that if we had a Højbjerg in our midfield last season, that midfield would have looked a bit more solid than it did?
We don't know where Ange would have deployed him, but I think he would have done a better job as a defensive midfielder than any other midfielders we've got. Other than obviously, Paulinho Paulinho is a better defensive midfielder.
He's an upgrade. He's an upgrade on Højbjerg. There's your upgrade if you wanted an upgrade. To be fair. Just that we're going through a bit more news. This is from Fabrizio Romano. A new contract for Mikey Moore. Apparently, it's a 6-year deal. Tottenham said we are delighted to announce that Mikey Moore has signed a new long contract with the team. And I will not mention the team he's playing for. I refuse to mention them. I am sorry. I will be doing Loan Watch. I will do a Mikey Moore Loan Watch, but Tequila will be doing the Loan Watch part for Mikey Moore. I refuse to speak to the team he's gone for. Sorry. I have
no love loss or not for Rangers. I don't mind. I prefer Celtics colours. Yes, that's right. I'm basing it on how much I like their t-shirts, their football shirts. Yeah. So I like Celtics football shirts. Demo, on the other hand, obviously, and Philip Brady as well. They both had a second team, aren't they? Third team.
Yeah. We will be doing some Celtic watch-alongs this season as well, guys. So do watch us for that, especially the old firms where you'll see me go a bit nuts. This is called Tottenham Open Cost from Fabrizio this morning. Tottenham. This broke last night.
Demo, can I add one more thing about Mikey Moore that I forgot to say? That contract, if he's really on 45k, you know what that suggests to me, don't you? That suggests to me is that they do believe he's going to make it. I don't know how much like Dane Scarlett's on, but I bet you I'll be surprised if Dane Scarlett is on anywhere near 45k.
I think Dane Scarlett's on about 10 grand a week.
Right then, so ask yourself this then, Dermo. Why is Mikey Moore given a 45k contract at that age and Dane Scarlett is on 10k and he's like 3 years older?
Because Mikey Moore has the talent to become probably one of the best players.
Right. So that's why you get rid of Dane Scarlett.
I think I'm actually going to check on that because I thought he was on more.
What, Dane Scarlett? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just checking now.
I'll be surprised, knowing how stingy our mate Danny is. I'll be surprised if Dane Scarlett's on 45k a week.
You like old Danny boy. You do. You like old Danny boy. You do. Personally, I think deep down you like him.
I can respect him. I can respect a douche.
Yeah.
I can.
Right. Dean Scarlett. Oh, well, Mateus Tell's only on 6. Do you know Solanke's only on 68 grand a week?
That's why we signed him, Dermo. Levy was like, we'll give you 68 grand. And like Dominic Solanke said, yes, all right. And Levy knew that was his man.
I don't know who Herbie James is. Never bloody heard of him.
No.
So, hang on. Where's Dean Scarlett?
Dane Scarlett. Dane.
Mikey Moore.
Think of a
Mikey
dog.
Moore was on 220 quid a week.
Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? To be honest.
That's a chunk, isn't it? Up to 45.
You imagine being Mikey Moore right now, Dermo. Do you think he's going to be sober for the next 2? Oh, I wouldn't be. I just got 45k a week.
Oh Lord. There is loads of news breaking from Last Word, of course. Last Word on Spurs. So we're going to say Oh, that's right. It's about Spurs in the window. Let's see what Fabrizio has said. Now, this is from Fabrizio Romero. How much is the video? All right. Yeah. Okay. Sod that for a laugh. Right. Yeah. So Mikey Moore is there. Then we've got Savinho, which we've talked about tonight. Tequila. This is his stats. Now, I think these are his stats from last season. They are an upgrade to what we've got in our front three, aren't they?
I could make so many jokes about what you just said, Dermo.
Go on, then say it. Go on.
Oh, no, it's just like I could list every player in the Premiership who had better stats than most of our two wingers last season, Dermo. Be here all night.
Mr. Blobby, Mr. Bean.
At least Mr. Blobby wouldn't get knocked off the ball. He's a big boy. He was.
Yeah, he gets a lot of free kicks and penalties.
Exactly.
So that's it. Assists out total at 8, club rank 1, chances created 46, third in that club rank, big chances created 11, second, dribbling attempts 102, second, average carrier distance 12.6 meters for equal first, shots 55, third, expected goals 5, fifth, goals 1 equals 12.
Yeah, like I say, he doesn't. If his fault is, I think, which he can improve on, is that he doesn't get enough goals. And you might say, well, isn't that slightly worrying considering that our strikers don't get many goals? And you're not wrong. And that is a valid criticism of having him. That's why I'm saying that hopefully he will allow Solanke and Richarlison.
I know you
goals.
say that, so
because at least I can see some. I'm sorry, Derm. I don't know what Richie does. I never have. I'm sorry.
He doesn't. I had the striker on my Tottenham team last night. I brought Griezmann in, and it reminds me of Richie. He had a header, and he had the whole goal to aim at, and he's put it in the same place Richie put his header the other night. And I said, right, that's it. I'm sorry, you're gone.
Yeah.
I sold him for Højlund. Højlund scored about 10 goals in 11 games for me so far this season.
Yeah, I honestly, if you've not noticed, Dermo, the links for a number 9 have all dried up as well. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. I do think we'll get a 10 of some kind. I do think we'll probably get somebody for the left wing. I can't see us unless something comes out of left field getting a 9.
Now, former Spurs legend Gary Lineker, FA Cup winner in 1991, of course, World Cup semi-finalist in 1990, Golden Boot winner in 1986, Gary Lineker. Improvement incoming, as he says on his podcast the other day with Micah Richards and Alan Shearer. He says, where Tottenham was finished under Thomas Frank. He says, I've seen improvements will happen this season. I think they will be well organised, probably play slightly differently to how they did on the Big Ange. Gary Lineker said on the Rest is Football podcast, big improvement incoming. I think the European spots is what I am going for. So he's going for Tottenham finishing top 7. Does he have a point that we're going to be a bit more well organised this season? And then for you being a sort of, disgruntled with the way we were playing under Ange, and rightly so. And I think you were proved right at the end of the day. In your opinions, I think a lot of us were proven wrong. And I think a lot of us, including me, went with it because of the tinted glances of what he did at Celtic. And I think I wasn't looking at it properly where you were looking at it realistically. I was looking at it more romantically. 17th in the league is not good enough. 22 league defeats is nowhere near good enough. But you won a trophy. Thank you very much. But do you agree with Gary Lineker that they are going to be well organised? Do you think they're going to be difficult to beat this season under Frank than they were under Ange? I think they will be. I agree with you. I think there'll be a lot of 0-0s, but I think they're going to be more organised.
I know Bayern just spanked us, but I think that won't happen. Well,
every week.
I can see Liverpool having a field day, right? Because I think Liverpool are going to be crazy this year. I think against the top 2 or 3, we'll probably let in some goals. But again, we only played them 4 or 5 times combined. Yeah. So I can see I can't see us like getting spanked, but I also can't see us winning by many as well. Like no. I don't think we're going to get more than 2 goals. I can't see us scoring more than 2 goals in the game very often, but I also don't think we're going to let in probably more than 2 goals. So points wise, I think I'm still got us at 9th. So I think Lineker maybe has been a little bit optimistic, but he knows more about football than I do. Of course he does. So I'm not going to really question him. But 7th to 9th, we could be anywhere amongst like 7th to 12th. Dermo. We could be anywhere amongst them right now, bro.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. We've got Hot Godson. Savinho is a pet player. He's a proper baller. He is. Just very quickly, do you think we should play just before we get into the last end of the show, guys? We are gonna give you a bit of a plug for our channel sponsorship, our channel sponsor for the 25-26 season. And of course, it is private internet access. And I know you lads, there's people have been WhatsApping me, Tequila, have been getting me on X, have been telling me on TikTok, where's the video gone? Where is Colin gone? We want Colin to explain it to us. So I think it's only fair that the public demand and the public get. And as we learnt last night in our little private game we were having, that the public do demand an audience for this gentleman. Don't worry, I'm not going to start singing.
Yeah. Com is a master DM, aren't you, Com? Com is a master singer, as you know, and he does a masterful impression of an American wrestler and an Irish actor. And Kermit the Frog, and an Irish actor, according to Dermot, though I don't know which Irish actor he's on about. Yeah, I'll take his word for it, though.
Yeah. You ever watched The Penguin?
Yeah.
Well, enough for me and Tequila. Here's Colin. Do you want to bring him in?
Oh, you do it, Dermot. I wasn't prepared for it. Get yours now, is what I'll say. Get yours.
Let me talk to you.
And that's all she said. Sorry.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there. But I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about private internet access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realize, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as private internet access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use, private internet access. All you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well, as you can see, and you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem. And it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs, 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private internet access. Get yours now.
There you go. 45 years. 45 years.
45 years?
45 years, 45 euros for 2 years plus 4 months. 3 guys never miss a Tottenham watch along again. Never miss a Tottenham game at 3 o'clock or wherever you are. You could be with me and sitting somewhere in America, and you could be in Ireland with me watching it on Sky Sports or BT Sports, or I could be with you sitting next to Jack Kanicki in America with him and me watching the same stream and streaming it for different YouTube channels, but being together as next door neighbors. But Tequila, that's not what else you can use it for. You can use it for other things as well, can't you?
Yeah, if you like your streaming platforms such as Netflix and other places like that, in case you didn't know, and I'm sure a lot of you did, they show different programs based upon the country you're in. So you hit the switch, tell them you're in another country, and you get to watch different programs.
Which is very good. Yeah, guys, do get it. It is important, and it helps us. It gives us a bit of a kickback on it as well when you do just sign up for it. So big up to you. Big up to Mick Harmlick as well. Good evening, Dermot. Good evening, Mick. Hope you are doing well. Guys, this is now the squad list. We're ending up the show, Nelly. So this is the squad list for, just give us 2 minutes, Tequila. Sorry, just got to do something. Sorry, just go through the squad list just very quickly, and it is there.
All right, let me see if I can read this. Didn't have my glasses prepared. Okay, so we've got the goalkeepers and the defenders up. Goalkeepers are Vicario, Kinky, and Brandon Austin, who will never leave this club until the end of time. Defenders, right back, Pedro Porro, Jed Spence, who is a right back / left back, Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Kevin Danso, Destiny Ndogi, and Ben Davis. Seeing Ben Davis there in 2025, I mean, I do question what that dude's got on Daniel Levy. He must have something, some kind of pictures, some kind of information. Let me see if I can bring up the midfield because Dermo has not told me how. Bless him. I don't want to screw with stuff without him being here. No, we'll have to wait till Dermo gets back because I'm not sure where he's put it. The next slide, and I don't want to muck up stuff and ruin it for him. So, how do you guys feel about that lineup? At least the defenders and the goalkeeping situation. What I will do, I'll read out some chats.
Sorry, I'm sorry to kill. I'm back now. Sorry, man.
I didn't know where you put the other slide. I didn't know where you put the other slide, mate.
Yeah,
so I couldn't.
There is the midfielders. We've got Polinia, Basuma, Archie Gray, Bentancur, Bergville, Papasa, and then the attackers. We've got Mohamed Kudus, Johnson, Wilson, Odebar, Mateus Tail, Richarlison, and Dominic Solanke. No Luca in the defence. Solanke might not even play. Solanke's still injured, which there will be a video dropping in the morning. There will be my player thoughts coming up and the predicted lineup coming up sometime tomorrow. The predicted lineup will be a live show for you members at 3 or 4 o'clock, so do join me for that. If you look at this squad very quickly, Tequila, it's a squad. Do you think that will give you encouragement to win?
Will it give me nightmares? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
The forward line will give me nightmares.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest, you can see why I've said like between like 7th and 12th.
Yeah.
It just feels so far away from a top 4 team, Dermo. Maybe I'm just overly negative. Fine, take that criticism on board. But I don't know. I'm comparing it to teams of the past that I remember.
I agree with you. I wholly agree with you. I look at that. Look. If you look at the defense, right, the goalkeeper's defense that looks really strong. That for me,
it's the strongest part of our team, I think.
Yeah, I think you look at the midfield as well. We look at a Polinia in that midfield with a Bentancur and a Bergville. I think there's your midfield tree. Or Papasa, there's your midfield tree, right?
I think I look at that midfield, Dermo, yeah, right, and I do not see a great passer of the ball, and I don't see a creative playmaker in that midfield at all. Closest one is Bentancur. The closest one is Bentancur. He's the closest.
Yeah, Bentancur does bring that balance to the midfield. Then you look at the front line. You've got Kudus. It's the only one out of that I think is worth any mention. Look, I do like Brendan Johnson. I will big him up because I do think he's got more talent than Richarlison, and I think he's a better goal scorer in getting into them positions than Dominic Solanke. Do I think he needs to do more? Yes. Do I think he's a winger? No. Do I think he's an inside forward? Hell yeah. Do I think Richarlison should be there? No. Richarlison should have been sold a long time ago. Wilson Odegaard. Do I think Savinho is an upgrade in him? Hell yeah.
Yep.
Do I think Mateus Tell was worth the money we spent in him? No. I would have got another loan with
another loan. Yep. We agree.
Or an option or an obligation to buy at the end of that. And does Dominic Solanke fill me with confidence that he's going to be the man to get us our 15, 20 goals? No.
No.
So we've got half of a good team, if you think about it.
Yeah, and it's like we said, I think defensive, I don't think we're going to get smashed that much this season. I just think we're going to struggle to score goals.
Yeah, I think we are. Now, just to finish off, guys, on the Now, this was the bit I was trying to find. I didn't bring it up. This is the one I should have put it back on my PDF. So I do apologize. But this is the net spend for Paratici tequila between 2021 to 2023, 247.8 million euro. Because they do work in euros. Maybe you can change that a bit for pounds if you want to. Johan Lange net spend between 23 and 2025. So 3 windows, 222.1 million euro. If you look at the money that was spent, and this is where I want to end the show tonight.
Excuse me.
Your pardon. God bless you. This is why I want to end the show tonight. Does this prove the point that Paratici is a far better director of football or technical director of football than Johan Lange? Does this put the nail into that conversation that when we had Paratici, we didn't appreciate what we had until after he was gone, basically?
Well, I think you've got to remember also, Dermot, that Spurs never wanted him to go. I don't know. We will never know if Levy had any inkling when he first signed Paratici that this court case was looming. We don't know if he actually would have known that or not. I struggle to think that he probably wouldn't have had an idea, but I can't say that for definite. No. So we didn't want him to go, right? So don't think that he failed and then Lange came in and took it. That's not how it went. He had to go because legally he couldn't stay and work for us anymore. If that case doesn't happen, do you think Lange takes over from him?
No. And I think getting rid of Gabbiadini as well, I think was a mistake. Yeah. I think bring back Gabbiadini. Guys, there will be a video on this. I hopefully one day this week we will get a video out of this. Me and Tequila will do one together, hopefully. To get to really go over this, because I think it's important that, and especially maybe at the end of the window, guys, me and Tequila will do a show on Levy and this window, and maybe we'll come back to the Paratici Lange debate as well. We'll put that into the mix, because I think it's very important to, look at all our football directors and look at the money they spend over the years under Levy. And also,
we probably should wait until. I think we should wait until after the window.
That's what I'm saying, after the window. So maybe the first 2 shows after the window. I think we need to do an in-depth look. That's why it's going to take me a bit of time to put that show together. Yeah. Now, as for change for Tottenham, they did get back to me. They did ask what time on Friday, and I did get back to them and said, is that okay? So I'm waiting for a call back on them, but I think it is going to be on. So this Friday, guys, before the Premier League season, we have changed for Tottenham on. And I think, Tequila, look very quickly on the protest that's announced on for Saturday at 1:30. Just to whet people's appetites for this on Friday. Do you agree with it, yay or nay?
I've wanted protests for a long time because obviously I've been very anti-Levy, which people know. I don't like them taking credit for certain things. I'm not sure they had a big role in. I'll leave that there. I think overall it's good. It's good. I do question, as I said at the start of the show, if that is the right time, but I understand why they're doing it. What I don't like, and it's not, I don't blame any of the protesters, and big up to all of them because they're taking time out of their lives to do this. So I've got no issues with any of them, all the guys who run it. It reeks a little bit of desperation because this should tell you how unhappy overall the fan base is with our transfer policy this window. For this to happen, because I don't know. I mean, maybe if I get a chance to, maybe I can ask them. I don't know if 2 weeks ago they were planning to do this, because we all thought, or whenever the Gibbs White thing was still going on, right, 2 or 3 weeks ago, if that would have been the plan, and if Gibbs White would have come in, do you think this process would be happening? Because I have my doubts.
Yeah, well, Colin next has come in. It says apparently there's a big announcement at 10 p.m. tonight. Have you heard anything? Well, I'm sure Tequila would chuck a message into. Go on, I dare you. I would take the flak for it. I take the flak for it. Okay, I will take the flak for it. But look, whatever happens, whatever announcement is at 10, if it's big, we'll come back on live and we will talk about it. I did heard on Shawnee's show that there was an announcement. One of the guests said on there was an announcement at 10. I have no idea what it's about. What do you think? Let's what do you think did right? Let's put it into perspective here, Tequila, right? What do you think it could be if you've been a bit of a conspiracy theorist?
Well, the 10 p.m.
There's three
tonight,
options, isn't there?
it's got. I'd imagine it's a player signing, surely, right?
Right.
What else do you think it could be? 2 days before the Super Cup and 5 days before the start of the Premiership. What else do you
I
think
think
it
it's
could
the
be?
naming rights.
You think they'd do it now?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that inform clubs that we've got more money to spend than we used to have?
Yeah, it would. But either that or could it be a takeover? I wonder, suddenly you got Tottenham, Change for Tottenham putting out this announcement today, right? Now I'm only putting two, I'm probably getting 5 with this, but just hear me out, right? Change for Tottenham put out a massive video this morning out on YouTube, right? On X, right? Protest have one up at the top end of the high road, right?
Yeah.
Then we get this suddenly big announcement tonight. Now, if it's a player, surely Tottenham would, or surely that would, Fritz would have announced it already. Does the other thing, do you reckon they're putting something out to contradict Change for Tottenham, what they've put out?
It could be kind of a countermeasure to try to appease the fans. And I guess if this was some kind of news that they feel would appease the fans, then whether or not Change for Tottenham would still be willing to do it, I assume they would, but they might look a bit more foolish, if that's the right word to even use. If
Could
this ended up
being signing,
it could be. If it's the naming rights, I question the timing of it because, like I say,
I do.
Announce it after the window closes.
Yeah.
So you don't let people know that, oh yeah, we've got this extra money now. Then all of a sudden, Savio's transfer cost 20 million more than it did before, Dermo.
But big up to Joe as well. It's coming at the end. Big up, Joe. How many people will be at Change for Time? I reckon be a good few. I reckon over 1,000. I reckon.
I think they had certainly in the thousands last time, and there's a lot of unhappy people at the minute with our window. There's a lot. Very few fans are positive about this transfer window. Yeah.
And you can't protest first game of the season after you win a cup. Look, we don't know if we're going to beat PSG on Wednesday, but we'll see. But this announcement at 10, we will keep over it. Of course we will. If anything majorly breaks, we will be back on as quick as you can shake a lamb's tail. Let's see who's right. Is Tequila right? Is it sign a player, or is it me about the naming rights?
No idea, bro. We'll wait and see.
Or could be nothing at all.
Nothing at all. And then I'm gonna have something to eat in a minute. So if I spew my food out and I read something, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But there is an announcement apparently at 10. I'm gonna probably put into the. I need to add you to.
Dermo. Joe says the last protest was 50 people. I'm sure it was more than that.
Well, look, when I went to
maybe I'm wrong. I know that the first one was thousands. There was thousands of people at the first one.
I went to the Palace game, as you well know, Tequila, and it was that game that bent that Kulu did his knee in that game. You
were there, Dermo. Were you there?
I was.
How many people were at that one then?
It got cancelled. It got cancelled. As far as I know.
Oh, that's why then, Joe. Dermo says it was cancelled, mate.
We were walking up the Tottenham High Road, me and Mr. Brady, and I kept saying, "Where's the protest on?" Because I wanted to go.
Okay.
And the fella said to me, "No, it's been cancelled, mate. There's no protest." Because they were asking people to leave at half time. And it was the game, I think, just before.
Joe says it wasn't cancelled. Joe says
I was told it was cancelled.
Okay.
Joe, I was told by a fellow Spurs fan, and Philip Brady can back me up on this. He was next to me, and we asked people, and they said it was cancelled. So, and then I've met up with Dave, who sat next to me, and said,
What a random comment that is. Big up the universe galaxy.
Yeah.
This isn't basketball.
No.
It's soccer or football, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Big up though. Thanks for the comment.
Thanks, yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, look, so I was told by a couple of Spurs fans it was cancelled. So that's what I was told. I wanted to go to it. I wanted to be there. I only get to go to 2-3 games a year. And well, I'm going to the United game in November. I'm really looking forward to that. So if there's a protest there, I'll join you. Look, if the protest is on, we will cover it here on the channel. I'm sure the guys when I'm in, and if there is a protest, I'm sure the guys here. Hang on. I might have some breaking news. I'm asking if I can use that. See, we're about to finish and news starts coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I that's what I was told. I was a bit disappointed because at the time I was trying to, before Joe said it wasn't, but there was asking fans to leave the stadium at halftime, and I got back to them and said to them, look, I'm coming over from Ireland. I'm not gonna leave the game for my one game a year, which is fair enough. Do you know what, Tequila? They actually got back to me and said to me, that's fine. We know you. I said, I am leaving out. I want things to change, blah, blah, blah. And they said, that's fine. We know it's your one game a year. We're not asking you to give up your one game a year to come out and spoil your day out. And, you know, I think that was fair of them, Tequila, fair enough. And yeah. I did reach out to them, and they were very good to get back to me, actually. And they didn't have to be fair.
No, they're good. I've seen them on other channels. You know, they're good. They're good guys. Like I say, the only thing I question is the timing. But
yeah. So look, we are where is it? We have a lot of fans who are corporate and jobs, and lots of tourist fans. Neither of those demographic were protest. So are you calling me a tourist fan then with your Spurs TV? Because I'm technically coming from Ireland. So I would love to know if you're class me in that tourist fan sort of.
Probably not, Dermo. Probably not.
Well, coming from I am coming from a different country.
Yeah, but it's Ireland though. It's not. Yeah, you are, but it's not. I think he's probably referring to Asia and maybe America.
I don't like this tourist fan thing. I've got a very big thing about this clamping people, tourist fans. I really do have a bugbear about that. I really do. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Of course they are. But I got a really big thing about that. And maybe we can talk about that on Friday. We are changed for Tottenham. I think that's an intro. But I really want you to push them. I want you to get your Simon Jordan hat on Friday, Tequila. I really want you to push them on Friday. And you're the man to do it. But guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching. We will be back tomorrow at 8 with all the build-up for Wednesday's show. A couple of pre-records will drop tomorrow for you members. For you non-members, they will drop tomorrow night as well. And also Wednesday, we have Before the Whistle, we have the watch-along, and then we have Instant Mac Reaction, where you, the members, can come on and have your say about the game we have just watched. It is PSG versus Tottenham. Tequila, what's your score prediction for Wednesday?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with 3-0 to PSG. Sorry, guys. Got to call it as I see
I'm going 2-1 Tottenham. Come on, let's get a second trophy.
There you go. He actually gave them a goal. Normally he says 4-0. He actually respected him enough to give him a goal. Well done, Dermo.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Right. Big up to guys. Do hit the like. Who did the subscribe button? We're on the march for 3K, so let's get there as soon as possible. Come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Frank we trust. We're all aboard the Frank train. It's leaving for Italy tonight, so get on board. If you're not there, then you will be left behind. But as always, Tequila, take us out.
Yes, here we are, mate.
Thank you. Good night.
Eyes on the